All right, cat lovers, we are back on the old YouTube with a new guide video. We're doing V25 Ongo today. Now, if you watch the stream, you know that we've beaten all the V25s at this point, and I haven't really put that footage on YouTube because as far as I can tell, most of our wins have been pretty much in line with what everybody else is doing, and they're still laden with a lot of the RNG that plagues a lot of these fights. Ongo, though, is a little bit different. Today we're going to bring you a 3 key item strategy for dealing with this bird, and it seems to be the most repeatable of the tier 3 V25 NMs we did. So let's dive into it. 3 key items is going to be a great time. Now with each key item we have a very specific goal in mind. Key item 1, we want to chip Ongo down to 75% to call out his toll fare ad. With key item 2, we want to use a melee setup to kill the first toll fare ad. And then obviously on the 3rd key item, we're going to use the black mage setup to kill Ongo himself. The biggest challenge to this method, honestly, is finding 6 people that have the 18 jobs. Now, we're actually going to start talking about the strategy by planning the 2 hours. So the nice thing is you don't actually need any 2 hours to clear key item 1 and 2, but they do help. So if you can compile your party in such a way that you can use Stymie on key item 1, bolster on key item 2, and then on key item 3 have the necessary 2 hours, you're in good shape. So let's talk about those key items. On key item 3, you absolutely have to have Subtle Sorcery available on the Black Mage. You have to have Clarion Call and Soul Voice on the Bard. The Corsair has to have Wild Card, and the Thief has to have Larceny. As long as those are preserved for key item 3, if you can get the Red Mage to be able to use Stymie on 1, it's very helpful, but not necessary. And on key item 2, Bolster is quite helpful, but again, not necessary. Keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out how to put your party together. And here we are, you see we're actually doing key item 1 here. And if you saw at the intro, the first key item we're doing Paladin, Ninja, Red Mage, Blue Mage, Beastmaster, and Summoner. Now here we are working on key item 1. If you saw the intro, you notice the party setup here is Paladin, Ninja, Red Mage, Blue Mage, Summoner, and Beastmaster. And the gist of this key item is that we're chipping him down bit by bit. The bulk of the damage is really coming from the Red Mage's End Stone effect, and they're just wailing on him with melee attacks. But in addition to that, your Blue Mage is going to be doing Embalming Earth and Entomb. Your Summoner is going to be doing Night Terror with Diablos and Geo Crush with Titan. And your Ninja is going to be Magic Bursting Stone spells as well when the opportunity arises. And the Beastmaster's main job here is just to use the Leech and to do TP Drain Kiss. Ongo still is a little bit dangerous, so you don't want to be getting hit by too many TP spells, and that's where the Beastmaster comes in. Alright, here we are working on key item 1, and again, the goal here is to just knock him down to 75% and call out the first toll fare ad. If you notice in the intro, the party setup for key item 1 is going to be Paladin, Ninja, Red Mage, Blue Mage, Summoner, and Beastmaster. And what you're going to do here is you're going to just chip him down bit by bit. The bulk of your damage is going to come from your Red Mage using End Stone and just wailing on him. But in addition to that, the Blue Mage is going to be rotating between Embalming Earth and Entomb. Your Summoner is going to be using Night Terror on Diablos and Geo Crush on Titan. Your Beastmaster is going to be just sucking TP. That's the only reason they're there, because Ongo's still dangerous. And your Paladin and Ninja can key up skill chains to do a little bit of magic bursting, which is nice. To pull that off, so the Ninja's going to use Gokotai, the Ambuscade Katana, and it has a stat on it where it gets regained based on how much double attack you have. So the Ninja's going to stack as much double attack as they can in their engaged set. In our instance here, Chubbs is the Ninja. He's got 100 regain from that, which is pretty substantial. The Paladin, I'm using Vim Torque and the Rikiko from Kirin and Escher Ruan, and I have 50 regain from that. And we'll do Blade Shun to Requiescat. And that'll open up for Night Terror and all the stone spells. So that's really handy. In addition to that, because the Ninja's going to be TPing a lot faster, the Beastmaster if they're wearing Gleddies, they'll have some regain as well. They'll occasionally be able to close with Primal Rend. So that's pretty good. And the Blue Mage can use Quadratic Continuum to continue it to a third step occasionally when they have the that skill chain ability up. That's the big thing. That's the bulk of the damage. Here is also where it can be useful to stack your 2 hours in such a way that your Red Mage can use Stymie. Frazzle 3 on Ongo goes a long way on this key item, but it's very hard to stick without Stymie. If you can manage it, Stymie, Saboteur, Frazzle 3 on him at the outset, and then you can also add like Slow, Silence, Paralyze, all those other regular debuffs, but if you can get Frazzle on him, it's very nice. But it's not necessary. We've been doing this run again with a new group, and we haven't been using Stymie. And occasionally we get Frazzle on, but usually we don't, and we can still get through this key item. But it is handy. Another really important tip for this key item is the bubbles that you put on in the lobby. Because your Red Mage is going to be doing the bulk of the damage, you want them to have as close to capped haste for as much of the fight as you possibly can. So to achieve this, you want to make sure to do an Indie Haste on the Red Mage in the lobby before the fight. When that wears off as you're fighting, you want your Blue Mage to go ahead and do Mighty Guard on everybody, right? And that'll give you like another 5 minutes of really good haste. And the Summoner can keep haste too on everybody with Garuda, which is nice. Another great buff too is the Ecliptic Howl from Fenrir, so that you get the stat bonus. We didn't do it here, but we've been doing it on our new runs. That's really handy. And when you're in the lobby beforehand, Indie Langor and Indie Focus can help you get that Frazzle 3 on, even if you don't have Stymie. So those are really handy as well. Other than that, this key item is pretty simple. You just chug along at it. It's slow and steady. Paladin keeps everybody alive. Keep those skill chains going when you can, and everybody just chips away. Once the ad comes out, you can't really overcome his regen with this little damage, but we just want to get the ad out. That's all that matters. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep poking away at him until we reach our prize. All right, that's key item 1 done. Easy peasy, no issues, right? You just go take it slow and you're fine. Now we're going on to key item 2. The goal here is to go in with a melee setup. We're going to kill that Toll Fair ad, because then we never have double regen on the kill shot, and we don't have any regen at all from 75 to 40%. It's beautiful, and it's one less ad to manage when you're trying to nuke Ongo down. It's quite handy. So it's pretty simple. The kill group's going to be Warrior, Dragoon, Dancer, Geomancy, and White Mage, while there's going to be a Puppet Master who's going to just hold Ongo himself. The biggest trip up you can have in this fight really is that the Toll Fair can hit kind of hard with physical damage. So it's really important to throw on an indie barrier in the lobby, entrust it on your warrior, and when it falls off during the fight, make sure you re-entrust it and get it back up. Also in the lobby, it doesn't hurt to do indie frailty, indie strength. You can throw an indie refresh on your white mage, and and then you just get in there and you take care of business. One of the tricky things here, when you go up to Ongo, the ad's actually not going to be out. So you can have your white mage go up and hit him with Dia. Basically what you want to do is stick the puppet on Ongo first. Have the puppet master throw his puppet on Ongo. And then you have the white mage Dia Ongo. And then the warrior can provoke the Toll Fair and bring it down away from Ongo. There's the pup wailing on Ongo. We just need the ad to come out. There it is. I'm getting the hell away from him. I actually forgot on this run, I called the ad out by hitting Ongo with stone. But Dia works great too. White mage does Dia. I'll hop right out. So we like to take it down here to this little corner. Get the bubbles going. I'm going to be doing Indie Haste to keep everybody haste capped, and Geo Fury. And here's another example of if your Geomancer doesn't need to use their first 2 hour on the third key item, they can use Bolster during this fight. And if you're going to do that, what I would do is Blaze of Glory first, and then once there's enough cooldown on Blaze of Glory that you'd be ready to do it again after Bolster, then you Bolster. Once Bolster's over, you re-Blaze of Glory. And then you'll have a really strong bubble the whole time. Dancer's critical here to keep debuffs up, right? Get those box steps going to floor his defense as much as you can. Haste Samba adds a lot of damage for everybody. On Warrior, make sure you do Tomahawk, right? And the nice thing is, the bird is weak to piercing, or takes max damage from piercing. Takes reduced damage from every other type, but Tomahawk will help with that. But it doesn't have a weapon skill wall like the main bosses do. So both the Warrior and the Dragoon can be using Impulse Drive. It seems to be the best bet on this guy. It's really not a lot to this. You just stick with it. Just beat on them. One trip up the Warrior's got to watch out for, though. The Toll Fair does like to do encumbrance a lot. And if you are about to Warcry, right, and you get encumbered, it's going to go from a minute duration to 30 seconds. Which is kind of bogus, but it happens. It's fine. Another big trip up you need to watch out for on this key item. If Ongo gets his fetters started, right? Which we've had runs where he didn't do the fetters at all. We've had runs where he does it immediately. Once his fetters are up, you need to keep in mind that anytime that Ongo does a TP move, it's going to wipe every debuff off of the Toll Fair, right? So you want your pup paying attention to that and call it out for the group. And that way, like, the Dancer knows, oh shit, I got a box step again. I was saving Angons on some of the runs where I was Dragoon for when it happens. Like, oh, okay, there goes the thing. I'm going to Angon now to get as much time as I can. But other than that, it's pretty simple. You just kick back and beat this bird silly. Oh yeah, and pay attention to the positioning here, right? The Tolfair does a lot of conal moves. That's why we're surrounding him. Just to be safe. All right, key item 2 down. I can almost taste the win at this point, right, chat? Like, we're right on the bloody precipice here. All right, so third key item. The goal now is to go in there and kill this fucker. The setup is going to be pretty much what you would expect, right? You're going to have your Black Mage, Scholar, Corsair, Bard, Rune Fencer, and a little bit of a curveball Thief. Because we had to use the Geo in key item 2, we have no Geo here. As a result, your pre-bubbles in the lobby are going to go a little bit further because you're not going to have any bubbles in the fight. So before the fight starts, make sure to put on an Indie Acumen, Indie Malaise. Throw the Malaise on your tank because he's going to be in there. Get an Acumen on, a Focus on, and a Refresh on, so that you have some. Well, just, I mean, they're only going to last for a few minutes in the fight, but they will go a long way in this particular instance. So get them up, and we'll see you in on the other side. And here we are, the final key item, guys. So this is just like any other Ongo kill. We're going to be keying up skill chains and magic bursting him to death. Well, let's talk a little bit about the buffs before we go in. So obviously Ongo takes 0 damage from all damage types except earth damage. So roll-wise, you got to have a tactician's roll, and you want it to be a really good tactician's roll because your core, Rune Fencer, and Thief are going to be continuing and closing skill chains, but they have to rely exclusively on regain. You also want Wizard's Roll to boost your magic damage, obviously. I've had it before where we did Wizard Sam on the main group and then threw Tacticians on the melee DDs, but that's not really necessary. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Wizards and Tact works great. Song-wise, you want to do Victory March, 2 Intelligence Etudes, a Refresh, a Mage's Ballad, and a Knight's Mean. The Mean is very important because that stupid-ass Tollfair is going to beat on people, and he does hit pretty stinking hard. And a really great trick on this fight, and really any V25, you want to do Clarion Call and Soul Voice on your Bard right at the outset, but don't use Nightingale and Troubadour. Just put up the regular duration, like 5-minute songs, right? Soul Voice lasts 3 minutes. So you get the songs up, and then as the fight starts, once your Soul Voice is like 30 seconds or so left, then you pop Nightingale and Troubadour, and you get the full duration songs up. And the nice thing about this fight is your tank doesn't really need the intelligence etudes and stuff, right? So what you can do is you get the regular songs up on the party at the full duration, and then you can pianissimo new songs of your choosing on the tank. So 2 Thunder Carols on him are going to be great. The Mage's Ballad's going to be great. Those are the big ones to make sure those are on your tank so that, you know, he doesn't die. Because they're not going to be getting a lot of healing, right? It's mostly relying on the regen 5 from the Scholar. And otherwise, the Scholar's mostly going to be in Dark Arts for the entire fight. Alright, with the buffs settled, let's talk about how this fight's going to go. The bulk of your damage is, or all of your damage rather, is going to be coming from magic bursting, but you also have to be good about your debuffing to do as much damage as you can. So number 1, Earth Threnody 2 needs to be put on by the Bard, and you want to keep it up. You want to make sure to do Impact on Black Mage whenever you can. I was really only doing it when I had Elemental Seal and Mana Well up, but that might not be the best way to do it, but that's how I was doing it. Make sure you get Impact on, and you're going to want to make sure you do a big burst of Geohelix 2. You want to max damage Geohelix 2 on them the entire fight. So to keep the skill chains going, the main thing is going to be your Scholar is going to be doing Imminence Arrow to Imminence Noctohelix. That's going to open up the skill chain window, and you can continue it up to a 4-step. And the way you're going to want to do that, you're going to have the 3rd step be Ruinator from your tank, or it's going to be Rudra Storm from your thief for step 3, and step 4 is going to be Wildfire from your Corsair. You can also do Evisceration to Ruinator to just do a simple 2-step, and in fact at the start of this fight, when we're getting the Geohelix 2 on and Gambit, we just did Evisceration to Ruinator just to get that Helix on real quick. So that's an option as well if stratagems are thin. Another extremely important thing to keep in mind, on this fight the bulk of your damage is going to be coming when Rake is applied from the Rune Fencer. Right? 3 Tellus runes and Rake is going to be your best damage. I found a pretty good cadence for using Gambit and Rake is to throw Gambit up at the start of a weapon skill window, a skill chain window. Once that window closes and the next one is starting, do Rake then, and try to do 2 full magic burst windows with the Rake up. So you do a 4-step, and you're bursting, and then you immediately start another one and you burst through it. As soon as that happens, you want everybody that needs a random deal to go in by the tank and get hit by random deal. So it's very important for the Rune Fencer initially to only use Rake and Gambit. You don't want to have Alliance, Velation, One for All, any of that stuff on cooldown, because you want the best chance possible to get your Rake back. You're going for the random deal. If you get it back, Gambit and or Rake, do the same thing again. At this point, you're going to want to hold on the wild card until the Black Mage uses their Subtle Sorcery, and I would recommend holding Subtle Sorcery until under 40% and line it up with Tabula Rasa, right? Because you want your Scholar constantly smacking skill chains while you've got Subtle Sorcery going. Also make sure during Subtle Sorcery, get Burn on. It's the only time you're going to get it up, and Burn is really helpful on this fight, so make sure during Subtle Sorcery, get the Burn up, crank along, also get Brava up while you're doing Tabula Rasa. After that, everybody goes in again for a wild card, and then you do the Rake and Gambit shuffle again. Do Rake and Gambit, nothing else. Try to get the 2 full magic burst windows on the Rake window. Go in for the random deal. Hopefully you get it back, and just keep cruising. Alright, here is that stinking Tolfair. He's a real pain in the ass now. Number 1, here's the number 1 thing. Here's where Thief's Larceny comes in handy. He's going to do Elemental Sforzo, Ongo is. Just go in and Larceny it off of him, and you can just keep cooking the damage. You don't have to sit there doing nothing while he can regen with his ad out, right? Thief goes in and Larcenies. Your Bard is going to want to spam the best enmity spells they have on that stupid bird to try to get it on the Bard. That's the ideal scenario, is it's hitting the Bard only. So have the Bard casting Foe Lullaby, Horde Lullaby, all of the stuff that you can. And you can even put together an enmity set, right? The Emmet Harness is plus 10 enmity. Pop that on as you're spamming those spells to try to get it on the Bard. Here's where we're going ahead. We're doing our 2 hours, right? Or no? Yeah, we're 2-houring here. I'm an idiot. Yeah, as soon as we hit 40, we go ahead and 2-hour, because then we're going to go in for the wild card and everything. And yeah, nothing really changes at this point, right? It's just get Larceny off the Elemental Sforzo. Go ahead and get the bird on the Bard if you can, and just keep doing your 4 steps. Stay focused. Keep casting your magic bursts, and just have a good time. Just have a good time with it, guys. Just a quick note too, if you're having trouble with that stupid bird and the enmity, whoever he's beaten on the most, maybe he's beaten on your Scholar the most, use Accomplice on Thief to steal half the enmity from whoever appears to be his main target. Just, that's one less person the Bard has to try to overcome on the hate list. And it can help you, get that bird onto the GD Bard. And just a little tip from the Black Mage's perspective, you want to make sure you're doing Stonejaw as part of your bursting string. Stonejaw will reduce his earth resistance, so a lot of times I'll start with either Stonejaw or Stone 6 at the top of my Magic Burst window. I think probably Stone 6 is the way to go because you want that to have the least resistance on it, and then hit him with Stonejaw to do the resist down, right? Because you're going to start getting Magic Burst walled after the first one. And then just go through your spells, right? Stone 6, Stonejaw, Stone 5, Stone 4. If you're lucky, Stone 6 is back up, but if it's not, go to Stone 3. And just keep cranking. Just keep cranking them. There it is, Big Ongo. He's dead. Went down like a sack of spuds. So easy. And no, he's not easy. He's a fucking pain in the ass. But with the 3 key item method, I think he's a lot more approachable. Now the thing is, don't get me wrong, if you roll either magic accuracy down or magic attack down on the auras, on either one of them, probably gonna lose. Still gonna lose. So there's still some RNG cooked into it, but if you don't get those, you're probably going to win. So for us, when we were doing 2 key items, we would not get magic attack or magic accuracy down all the time, and we'd still time out. We'd still lose. Couldn't do enough damage. With 3 key items, now granted, it still took us 3 tries, but the first 2 we got magic accuracy or magic attack down. Third one, we didn't roll that, and it went off without a hitch. So yeah, in terms of repeatability, this was the one strategy I think that we did on tier 3 that has the most ability to repeat it. It removes as much RNG, I think, as you can. And of course, the big challenge will be finding 6 people with the 18 jobs that you can mix and match to get it done. But if you can take him down. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I had fun making it. We did this fight a long time ago, but we've been redoing some of the V25s. Then it was kind of fresh in my mind, so I just want to do it. So I hope this was helpful for you. Remember, we're on twitch.tv/ValorXI every day but Sunday starting at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. You can come in and do some backseating if you want. You can tell me how bad I am at the game. No, I'm just kidding. But you can just come and chill with us, and we have a good time. So come on by. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you soon.